These are the only 6 exercises every woman needs to do to stay strong, pain-free, and independent after 60. If you think staying strong means complicated gym routines with expensive equipment, what I'm about to show you will completely change how you approach fitness. Because here's what the fitness industry doesn't want you to know. The most effective strength-building routine for women after their 60s requires just 6 movements, takes 20 minutes, and can be done in your living room. Research proves these specific exercises address the 4 biggest threats to independence after 60, and they can all be modified safely for osteoporosis, knee replacements, and arthritis. Every year after 60, women face a perfect storm of physical changes. Muscle loss declines by 8 to 15%. Bone density decreases, especially in the first 5 years after menopause. Balance becomes less reliable, with 1 in 3 women over 65 experiencing a fall. And cardiovascular fitness is impacted, making everyday activities more tiring. But here's what's encouraging. Research proves that the right exercises can not only stop this decline, but actually reverse it. And here's the thing. After creating fitness programs for seniors for years, with hundreds of different exercises, it really comes down to 4 essential elements. Write this down, put it on your fridge, save it in your phone, because every effective exercise for seniors must cover these 4 areas. I call it the base foundation. B for balance, A for agility, S for strength, and E for endurance. Let me give you a real example. You're walking to your mailbox and back. Sounds simple, right? Balance keeps you steady when you step off that uneven sidewalk or reach into the mailbox. Agility lets you navigate around that neighbor's dog or step over a garden hose. Strength holds you upright and carries whatever mail you're bringing back. Endurance gets you there and back without feeling winded. Now imagine if one element was missing. No balance? You trip on that crack in the sidewalk? No agility? You can't step around obstacles? No strength? Your posture collapses and your back hurts? No endurance? You're out of breath before you reach the front door, and that's why today's 6 exercises follow this base approach. Let's start with one of the most foundational human movement patterns. Squats. After 60, women will experience a decline in muscle mass called sarcopenia, which affects 45% of women over 60. But research proves this muscle loss is completely reversible with the right exercises. Squats are perfect because they work multiple muscle groups simultaneously. Your quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, and core all activate together. But more importantly, squats build the exact movement pattern you use dozens of times every day. Getting up from chairs, getting out of bed, climbing stairs, and maintaining stability when you need to sit down or stand up quickly. Here's how to do it safely. Stand with feet hip-width apart, toes slightly turned out. Hold onto a sturdy chair for support. Lower yourself as if sitting back into a chair, keeping your chest up and knees tracking over your toes. Go down only as far as comfortable. Do not go lower than 90 degrees. If you have osteoporosis, avoid deep squats and focus on partial range of motion. Use a wall sit instead. Lean your back against a wall and slide down to a comfortable position. Hold for 15 to 30 seconds. This builds strength without spinal flexion. If you have a knee replacement, use a chair for complete support. Sit down fully, then stand up using your hands on the chair arms if needed. Focus on using your leg muscles as much as possible. After the 6-month healing period, there will no longer be any restrictions. If you have arthritis, use a smaller range of motion, move slowly, and apply heat to joints before exercising. Movement actually lubricates joints and reduces stiffness. But when doing this, never force movement through pain. Physical therapists use these exact modifications in rehabilitation programs. The key is starting where you are and progressing gradually. Start with 5 repetitions. Build to 15 over 4 weeks. Perform 3 times per week with rest days between. Squats build the foundation, but this next movement keeps your spine young, using ancient wisdom that modern science has proven. Exercise 2. The cat-cow flow. The cat-cow flow is a traditional yoga movement that has been practiced for centuries. Modern spinal research has proven it to be one of the most effective movements for spine health. Spinal compression increases with age. Forward head posture develops from decades of life. And if you have osteoporosis, it most commonly affects the spine. This gentle spinal movement maintains disc health while being completely safe for all medical conditions. It works your entire body as an integrated system. Your spine moves through its full range of motion, your core stabilizes the movement, and your breathing coordinates with the pattern. This movement prepares your spine for all the bending, reaching, and twisting you do in daily life. Let's start with the standard version of doing the cat-cow flow. Begin on your hands and knees with your wrists under your shoulders and knees under your hips. For the cow position, breathe in and arch your back, lifting your tailbone and chest toward the ceiling. Let your belly drop gently. For the cat position, breathe out and round your spine, tucking your chin toward your chest and drawing your belly button toward your spine. Move slowly and gently between these positions for 5 to 10 rounds, always moving with your breath. If you have osteoporosis, focus more on the cow position with the gentle arch. Minimize the cat position to avoid spinal flexion. If you have knee replacement or arthritis issues, this gentle movement reduces morning stiffness. There's a chair version that you can try. Sit comfortably in a chair with your feet flat on the floor and hands on your thighs. Follow the same spinal movements, arching and rounding your back while breathing deeply. If kneeling is uncomfortable for any reason, you can also do this standing. Place your hands on your thighs and follow the same spinal movement patterns. This movement is used in physical therapy for spine rehabilitation and is approved by rheumatologists for arthritis management. The key is never forcing the movement and staying within your comfort zone. Practice this daily, 5 to 10 rounds with deep breathing. You can do this as a warm-up before other exercises or as a gentle way to start your morning. Spinal mobility sets you up for all movement, but this next exercise literally predicts your future independence. Exercise 3. Balance training. Here's a sobering statistic. 1 in 3 adults over 65 fall annually. Hip fractures cause a 20% mortality rate within 1 year. But here's the hopeful part. Balance training reduces fall risk by 40%. A simple one-leg balance test is commonly used to assess balance and has been associated with fall risk over time. So with balance training, you're not just wanting to avoid falls, but also maintain the confidence to move freely through your life. It also trains every part of your base system, where balance is the primary focus and then other elements integrate. Agility comes from quick corrections and reactive responses. Strength builds in the stabilizing muscles throughout your entire body. And endurance develops through sustained hold times that challenge your cardiovascular system. This proves that even when we're focusing on balance, the base framework ensures we're building everything else simultaneously. Medical considerations are important here. If you have osteoporosis, avoid movements that could cause falls. If you have a knee replacement, balance training actually improves joint stability. And if you have arthritis, better balance reduces joint stress through improved alignment. Let's start with the basic exercise. Stand near a sturdy chair or wall for support. Lift one leg and balance on the other, using light finger support on the chair if needed. The goal is to hold this position for 30 seconds, then switch legs. You'll probably notice that one leg is easier than the other. That's completely normal, as the body always has a stronger side. With practice, both sides will balance out. Start with eyes open and light finger support. As you improve over weeks, try to use less support and eventually balance without holding on. Once you can balance for 1 minute on each leg, you can try the eyes closed version. When we close our eyes, the body loses one of its main balance references, vision. Your muscles, joints, and nervous system have to work together much more intensely. But never do this without safety measures. Always stay close to a wall or sturdy chair. For those with any balance concerns or medical conditions, always use support. There's no such thing as cheating in exercise. Safety comes first. If standing on one leg is too challenging, try seated leg lifts. Sit in a sturdy chair and lift one leg, holding for 10 to 30 seconds. This builds the same stabilizing muscles in a safer position. Practice this 3 times per week, working up to 30 seconds and eventually 1 minute on each leg. Balance training is required in all joint replacement rehabilitation programs and is prescribed by neurologists for fall prevention. Picture yourself in a few weeks, standing for 1 minute on each leg with upright posture and calm breathing. That means more confidence to cross streets, climb stairs, and move around without fear. The 3 exercises we've just covered, the squats, cat-cow flow, and balance training, actually demonstrate what I call the base approach to senior fitness. Each exercise works multiple elements simultaneously. Squats build strength while challenging balance and coordination. Cat-cow improves mobility while requiring core strength and breathing control. The balance work obviously focuses on stability, but also builds muscle endurance and quick reactions. This integrated approach is what makes these exercises so effective for seniors. Instead of spending hours doing separate workouts for each fitness component, you're challenging everything at once, just like real-life demands. Now let's move to our next exercise that provides the cardiovascular conditioning that most senior exercise programs miss. Exercise 4, step-ups. Cardiovascular fitness declines 10% per decade after age 30. But here's what researchers have discovered. Stair climbing ability is the #1 predictor of independence in seniors. Step-ups replicate this exact functional movement while providing the cardiovascular conditioning that most senior exercise programs miss. Step-ups are also a perfect base exercise because they combine everything. Balance comes from single leg stance and weight transfer challenges. Agility develops through coordinated up and down movement patterns. Strength builds in your glutes, quadriceps, and calves, working against gravity. And endurance comes from 2 to 3 minutes of continuous movement that provides real cardiovascular conditioning. This movement combines strength training with cardio while building the exact movement pattern you need for stairs, curbs, and getting in and out of cars. Let's start with the standard equipment. You can use a 4 to 6 inch step, which could be phone books, an aerobic step, or the bottom stair of your staircase. The key is having something stable that won't slide. The proper technique involves stepping up with your full foot, not just your toes. Press through your heel as you lift your body weight. Step down with control, don't just drop down. Alternate legs to keep the movement flowing, and maintain upright posture throughout. Start with a beginner height of 2 to 4 inches. You can literally use a thick book for this. As you get stronger over weeks, progress to 6 to 8 inches, like a bottom step. Advanced practitioners can work up to 8 to 12 inches for full step height. For medical safety, step-ups are excellent for all conditions. If you have osteoporosis, this is a perfect weight-bearing exercise that builds bone density. If you have a knee replacement, this exercise is actually excellent for rehabilitation. Just start low with a 2 to 4 inch height and progress slowly. If you have arthritis, the movement lubricates your joints, but use handrail support and focus on control rather than speed. Here's the endurance protocol that makes this so effective. Week 1 and 2, do 30 seconds continuously. Week 3 and 4, work up to 1 minute continuously. Week 5 through 8, build to 2 to 3 minutes for full cardiovascular benefit. This isn't just busy work. Research shows that step-ups improve VO2 max in seniors. Cardiac rehabilitation programs use step-ups as their primary cardio exercise. And functional movement assessments include step-up capability as a key marker. But here's a bonus benefit that replaces another exercise entirely. The leg elevation naturally pumps blood back to your heart, improving circulation and reducing swelling. You get the same venous return benefits that calf raises provide, but with the added cardiovascular and functional benefits. Practice this 3 times per week. Every time you encounter steps in real life, you're reinforcing this pattern. Step-ups build your cardiovascular endurance while strengthening everything you need for stairs. But this next exercise builds the bones that support it all. Exercise 5, hip bridge. Here's a statistic that should concern every woman over 60. Women lose 20% of their bone density in the first 5 years after menopause. Lower back pain affects 80% of adults over 60, and hip strength is crucial for every single daily activity you do. The hip bridge addresses all of these issues while incorporating every element of the base framework. Balance comes from pelvic stability and single leg variations. Agility develops through dynamic lifting and lowering movements. Strength builds in your glutes, hamstrings, and core muscles that support your entire body. And endurance comes from sustained holds and multiple repetitions. Weight-bearing exercise like this builds bone density safely, and this particular movement does it without any spinal flexion, making it perfect for osteoporosis. Here's how to perform the basic bridge. Lie on your back on a firm surface like the floor or an exercise mat. Bend your knees and keep your feet flat on the ground, hip-width apart. Your arms can rest by your sides for stability. From this position, squeeze your glute muscles and lift your hips until your body forms a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Hold this position for a few seconds, really squeezing those glutes. Then lower down slowly and with control. The key is initiating the movement with your glutes, not your back. Think about pushing the floor away with your feet and lifting from your hip muscles. If you have osteoporosis, this is an ideal exercise because it builds bone density without spinal flexion. If you have a knee replacement or other knee issues, this exercise is excellent for glute strengthening during rehabilitation. You will need to place a pillow between your knees for comfort and stability. If you have arthritis, this movement improves hip mobility while reducing stress on your back. To be able to do this movement, use a smaller range of motion and focus on muscle activation rather than height. As you get stronger, you can progress to single leg bridges. Lift one foot slightly off the ground while performing the bridge. This dramatically increases the challenge to all four base elements. You can also try bridge holds. Lift into the bridge position and hold for 10 to 30 seconds. This builds endurance while maintaining the strength and bone building benefits. Start with 10 to 15 repetitions, 3 times per week. This exercise is prescribed by orthopedic surgeons for bone health and is used in osteoporosis prevention programs worldwide. Research consistently shows that exercises like this not only build bone density, but also improve posture and reduce lower back pain. You're literally building the foundation that supports your entire body. Strong bones and glutes need one final element to complete the system, and this last exercise ensures you can walk with confidence and stability. Exercise 6. Side leg raises. Hip stability determines the quality of your walking. Lateral weakness causes what's called a waddling gait that many seniors develop. And here's something important. Falls often happen during directional changes, not just when walking straight ahead. Side leg raises strengthen the gluteus medius, which is the muscle responsible for keeping your pelvis level when you walk. This directly improves your gait and walking confidence while incorporating all base elements. Balance comes from single leg stance and weight shifts. Agility develops through lateral movement patterns that most people never practice. Strength builds in your gluteus medius and core stabilizers that keep you upright. And endurance comes from multiple repetitions that challenge these often neglected muscles. This exercise is safe for all medical conditions when done with proper support. Always use a sturdy chair or wall for balance. Never rush the movement and focus on control rather than height. Here's the proper technique. Stand next to a sturdy chair or wall for support. Keep one leg firmly planted on the ground and slowly lift the other leg out to the side. You don't need to lift high. Even 6 to 12 inches makes a significant difference. Hold the lifted position for a few seconds, then slowly return to starting position. The key is controlling both the lifting and the lowering phases of the movement. Keep your torso upright throughout the movement. Don't lean away from the leg you're lifting. The movement should come from your hip, not your waist. Repeat 10 to 15 times on each leg. You'll likely notice one side is stronger than the other, which is completely normal. If standing is challenging, try the seated version. Sit in a sturdy chair and lift your leg out to the side while seated. This works the same muscles in a safer position. You can also add resistance with a band around your ankles, but only after you've mastered the bodyweight version. Practice this 2 to 3 times per week, focusing on control rather than height. Small movements with good form are far more effective than large movements with poor control. Research shows that strengthening these lateral hip muscles improves walking efficiency and reduces the risk of falls during directional changes. This is why this exercise is included in most fall prevention programs. Now you have all 6 exercises that form a complete base training system. You've just learned 6 exercises that address every aspect of fitness that matters for women over 60. Let me show you how these work together as a complete system. Squats build your foundation strength while improving the movement pattern you use dozens of times daily. The cat-cow flow improves your spinal mobility while coordinating breath and movement. The balance training focuses on stability while building the quick reactions that prevent falls. Step-ups provide cardiovascular conditioning while building functional strength for stairs and daily activities. The hip bridges build bone density and back strength while improving posture. And the side leg raises completes your walking stability system. What makes this routine so effective is that each exercise works multiple aspects of fitness simultaneously. This integrated approach means you get maximum benefit in minimum time, and your body learns to coordinate strength, balance, mobility, and endurance together, just like you need in real life. Here's your weekly schedule. Monday, do the complete routine. Tuesday, focus on extra mobility work with additional cat-cow flows. Wednesday, repeat the complete routine. Thursday, add extra balance practice. Friday, complete the routine again. Weekends are for active recovery with gentle movement and walking. The beauty of this system is that it grows with you. Start with the modifications that fit your current abilities and medical conditions. Progress gradually by adding 1 repetition per week or holding positions for a few seconds longer. There's no rush, no pressure, just steady improvement at your own pace. Most importantly, these aren't just exercises, they're movement patterns that directly translate to your daily life. Every squat makes getting up from chairs easier. Every balance session makes you more confident on uneven surfaces. Every step up prepares you for real stairs. Every bridge strengthens your posture. Every side leg raise improves your walking. Your independence at 80 depends on the choices you make today. These 6 exercises give you everything you need to stay strong, stable, mobile, and energetic for decades to come. Start with just 1 exercise today. Master it, make it a habit, then add the next one. Consistency beats perfection every time. Your future self will thank you for taking action now. What's the biggest challenge you face with staying active? Is it strength, balance, mobility, or endurance? Let me know in the comments, and I'll provide specific guidance to help you get started safely and effectively. If you're ready to build real strength and independence that lasts, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. More videos are on the way.